Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Sunday to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dodger Stadium and a sold-out crowd for the final game of the year between the Giants and the Dodgers. And the words from the September song, the days have indeed dwindled down to just a few. This being the next to the last Sunday. The next time we get together for a Sunday game will be the final game of the year on the 4th of October with the Colorado Rockies. Meanwhile, it's always a delight to see the little peanuts running out to the field with the Dodgers, and they have a thrill of a lifetime. Manny Ramirez stopping on the foul line to give a little girl an autograph, and then when he runs out to his position, there's going to be another peanut out there as James Loney is signing autographs, and it's one of the nicest things that the Dodgers have come up with in years. It is heartwarming indeed just to look at that little child standing there looking, getting an autograph, and then running back to the dugout and off the field with a treasured day for a lifetime. Meanwhile, it'll be time to go back to business, and for the Dodgers and the Giants, renewing a rivalry that has seen the Dodgers win 10 of 17. Andres Torres opens up in left field, Freddie Sanchez at second base, and Randy Wynn in right field. Pablo Sandoval, the big guy in the lineup, hits fourth. Benji Molina, the catcher, right back of him. Then the shortstop, Juan Uribe. Ryan Garco at first base. Aaron Rowan will be in center field. And Tim Lincecum, certainly one of the class pitchers in the league, on the mound for San Francisco. And going right head-to-head with him is another one, left-hander Randy Wolf. Wolf with a record of 10 and 6. Left-hand hitters are hitting less than $1.50 against him, so he won't be looking at anybody except the pitcher, Lincecum, who bats left-handed. The ratio strikeouts to walks for Randy Wolf is 3-1. The opposition is hitting only .227 against him, and he has won 5 of his last 7. He is 1-0 against the Giants this year, and he is 7-4 lifetime against them. So here come the Giants, and it'll be Andres Torres to start it off. He has not faced Wolf in his career. Torres 0 for 1 yesterday, and the right-hand hitter takes the strike. He is a switch hitter, and of course batting right-handed. Torres hitting .327 right-handed. And the next pitch off speed, and he is way out in front of it. So no balls and 2 strikes. It is a summer afternoon indeed. The temperature's 84 degrees as the game gets underway. Next pitch a little high and away. So 1-2 as Randy Wolf, in pursuit of his 11th win, facing the boy from Aguada in Puerto Rico, Andres Torres, who swings and nubs one foul off to the left. Torres was originally drafted by the Tigers 11 years ago. He made it up in 03 and 04, surfaced again with the Rangers, and now this year with San Francisco. He's 31 years old, 5'10", about 190, and he lifts one high and deep into left center field, and that one is going to go halfway up the pavilion. So Andres Torres takes Wolf downtown. For Torres, his 4th home run, his 18th run batted in, but the Giants are not going to get too excited, maybe a little for his sake. But remember, the opening game of the series, it was Eugenio Velez who led off with a home run. Then the Giants scored in the first inning yesterday, only to have the Dodgers blow them out of the ballpark. Tim Lincecum leading the applause in the Giant dugout, and it's 1-0 San Francisco. That'll bring up the second baseman and local boy, Freddie Sanchez, and he takes off the plate, ball 1. Freddie hitting .292, 7 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Wolf ready and deals, and a fastball is swung on and missed. To keep track of the home run for Randy Wolf, that would be the 22nd home run that he has given up this year. That would tie him with John Garland. Sanchez promptly bangs one into right field for a base hit. So a shaky start for the Dodgers and for Randy Wolf. Home run followed by a single, and the batter now is Randy Wynn. Here are the Dodgers with the leather: Ramirez, Kemp, and Ethier in the outfield, Blake, Furcall, Belliard, and Loney on the infield, and the battery of Wolf and Martin. So with a runner aboard at first, Randy Wynn staying in the ball game, and we say that because hitting left-handers, Wynn is batting only .157. And the first pitch from Randy bunted in the air over the backstop screen, and the count, no balls and 1 strike. In looking at Randy Wynn going head-to-head against Randy Wolf, Wynn is batting .304. So he has not had any success at all except left-handers, and this is one of them where he has actually paid dividends. 0-1 the count to Randy Wynn. On deck, Pablo Sandoval. Wynn comes back and looks at a pitch inside, 1-1. For Randy, he's a local boy, born here in Los Angeles, went to school at Santa Clara, and for years, and I mean years, he's been with the Giants for the last 5 years, and he's had a career batting average hitting .304, 7 for 23 against Randy Wolf. They had him bunt on the first pitch, and he's up there now, 1 ball, 1 strike. Wolf set at the belt, left-handed back with a fastball, full swing fly ball to Matt Kemp. Kemp waits, makes the catch, back to first base goes Freddie Sanchez, and now they wheel up the big gun as far as the Giants attack is concerned. Pablo Sandoval hitting .322, 22 home runs, 80 runs batted in, and for Sandoval, he leads the Giants in almost every offensive category. You have to go back to some great names in Giant history to find fellas who have led in home runs, RBIs, runs, hits, doubles, and walks. And his name goes in with legends like Mel Ott, Johnny Mize, Willie Mays, Barry Bonds, and Pablo Sandoval, and he takes high, ball 1. Sandoval, a switch hitter, hitting .311 left, but from this side of the plate batting .357. 22 home runs, 5 of them hit right-handed. Wolf out of a stretch. Randy comes back high, and he's behind 2-0. So Sandoval with that .322 batting average, leading the Giants in every possible area. Wolf said, looks over at first, 2-0 pitch, and that's a fastball out of there, ball 3. 3-0 to count. So Randy pitching very, very carefully. Sandoval, however, has not given him a bad time. Just 1 for 6, and he might very well swing now, 3-0. Out of a stretch goes Wolf, looks at first, 3-0 pitch taken down and away, ball 4. So for Randy Wolf, home run, single, gets 1 out, walks Sandoval, and that will bring up Benji Molina. For Joe Torre and Rick Honeycutt, can't say that they're worried. The Dodgers are certainly in a great spot. They're 5 games in front of Colorado. They are 8.5 games in front of the Giants, who are desperately trying to catch the Rockies. The Rockies failed to score in the first inning against the Diamondbacks, and that would be Ubaldo Jimenez and Dan Haren. And I'm sure that Bruce Bochy thinks of them as Demon because they have a couple of games still to play, 3 in Arizona after this series. 2 on, 1 out, and the first pitch on the outside corner to Molina, 0-1 the count. The veteran catcher, 35 years old. Molina from Rio Piedras in Puerto Rico, signed by the Angels 16 years ago. Now the strike 1 pitch off speed, and that's hit foul down the line, out of play. The Molina brothers, and there are 3 of them, are the only trio to each own a World Series ring. And of course, as far as Gold Gloves, Benji has 2 of them. Yadier is also a Gold Glover, though it runs in the family. 0-2 to count. Molina 5'11", 225. So as you can imagine, at 35, catching every day for years. Very slow. If he hits a ball on the ground, it's almost a cinch double play. The pitch coming up. There's a hopper down to second base. The feed to Furcal. That's it. Double play. So Benji hit into 2 double plays Friday night, and they use him to get out of the first inning today. At the end of half an inning, 1-0 San Francisco. And now take a look at the Dodger lineup as penciled in by Joe Torre. Rafael Furcal, Andre Ethier, and Manny Ramirez. Matt Kemp in center field hitting cleanup, followed by James Loney and Casey Blake. Ronnie Belliard, who hit his 4th grand slam of his career yesterday at second base. Russell Martin behind the plate. Randy Wolf on the mound. On the mound for the Giants is a young fella who is really quite a study. He is 25 years old. He is an even 6, maybe 170. Out of Bellevue, Washington, Renton, Washington. And if you're an SC fan or student, put your fingers in your ears, because he went to the University of Washington. But Lincecum is more than all of that. First of all, we talked about his height. When he was 15, he was 4'11" and weighed 85 pounds. In high school as a junior, he was 5'70", 130. And finally, when he went to the university, he was 5'9" and 135. So he ate his vegetables, and he's 6 feet tall. But he is really remarkable. And the first pitch to Rafael Furcal is in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Lincecum trying to win his 15th. He leads the league in earned run average, 2.3. He comes back, drops a breaking ball in there, strike 2. And that brings up another point. He leads the majors in strikeouts. He has 244, as opposed to only 50 some odd walks. And the next pitch is whacked to right field down the line, coming over just about to the track to make the catch as Randy wins. So Furcal got a pretty good pitch, 0-2, and flies to right.
16,
One away, Andre Ethier coming up. Andre Ethier has been absolutely amazing in a lot of areas. You know, the Mr. Magic with his 6 walk-offs, including 4 walk-off home runs, and he has been absolutely dynamite against the National League West. Lincecum into the windup, comes over the top with that vicious curveball in for a strike, and the count 0-1. 14 of Andre's home runs against the Western Division. Well, let's concentrate a little bit on Lincecum, so this is the last time you'll see him as it's fouled back. Since the Cy Young Award came into existence, that was back in 1956, only 4 of the award winners won it in their first full season. Fernando Valenzuela in 1981, Brett Saberhagen and Dwight Gooden in 1985, and Tim Lincecum last year. And having won 14 with a shaky ball club this year, he is certainly considered a candidate. Lincecum with 1 out, leading 1-0 in the first inning, over the top and the pitch in the dirt. When you watch a pitcher, and this is a scientific study, from the time he is ready to deliver the ball, his shoulder, in Lincecum's case, his right shoulder at its peak speed rotates forward, so they say, at 7,000 degrees per second. Here's the 2-2 pitch, swung on, and down goes Ethier. That movement is the fastest measured human motion of any human activity. And when you look at Lincecum, it is really remarkable that he has not been injured. And you could say, well, wait a minute, he had back spasms. You know how he got the back spasms? He had come off the road trip. He was lugging a suitcase and carrying a suit bag over his shoulder. Came home, bent over to pet his dog, and coughed and got a spasm. So now let's concentrate on the matchup. Manny Ramirez and Tim Lincecum. Lincecum and Ramirez. Manny is 1 for 5. Struck out once. Lincecum straddling the rubber as he looks in to get a sign. He has given up 9 home runs in well over 200 innings. And the pitch to Ramirez, missing ball 2, 2-0. There is another amazing thing about Lincecum, and our director Rob Menchel will be able to show it to you in a minute if you're watching on TV. Manny takes a strike, 2-1. The normal stride for a pitcher is somewhere between 77 and 87% of his height. Lincecum is 6 feet tall. His stride is about 7.5 feet. That's 129%. Fastball low. So when you realize what goes on with the shoulder, what goes on with that unusual stride, and I mean it is unusual, and he just rolls along. Tim Lincecum, he was 18-5 last year to win the award. Tim ready, 3-1 pitch on the way, fastball outside, ball 4. So a 2-out walk to Manny Ramirez will bring up Matt Kemp. Well, let's see about Matt Kemp and Tim Lincecum. Kemp has faced him 10 times. He is 0 for 10. And Lincecum has struck him out 6 of the 10 times. So Matt checks in and tries to turn the numbers around a little bit. 1-0 Giants here in the first inning. Another thing they measured, and we're talking scientific data now, as Lincecum set at the belt. Tim ready, here he comes, fastball inside, ball 1. From that loaded position, when the ball finally comes to a stop, it is accelerated from 0 to 90 miles an hour in 0.3 of a second. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on, big bouncer, foul down the line, 1-1 the count. So can you imagine, you're a major league hitter, you're standing at the plate. Not only is the ball coming at least 90 miles an hour in 0.3 of a second, you have to immediately identify it, fastball, slider, whatever, and then the big thing, is it in the strike zone? And all of that has to happen in a millimeter of a second. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Matt Kemp. 1-0 Giants, first inning. Lincecum comes right back over the top, and he's low, ball 2, 2-1. Waiting his turn on deck would be James Loney. So it's 1-0 Giants. Leadoff home run by Andres Torres. Ramirez at first with 2 out, and a 2-1 count to Matt Kemp. Lincecum delivers in a high fly ball, but it's playable in left center. Aaron Rowand is right there to make the catch, and that's that. No runs, no hits, a walk, and a man left. And at the end of an inning, Giants 1, Dodgers 0. Giants leadoff home run by Andres Torres. Now Juan Uribe, Ryan Garco, and Aaron Rowand against Randy Wolf. And the first pitch, line drive, speared by Belliard. The Randy has not really fooled anybody, but he gets Uribe on that line drive, 1 away. And the batter will be Ryan Garco. Garco coming over and has not done what they were hoping. Meanwhile, one of the young pitchers traded away by the Giants, apparently perking up, pitching for Cleveland. Ryan, born in Pittsburgh but lives in Walnut. He went to Stanford University. Big boy, right-hand batter, and looks at a strike. He is 6'2", 210. Hit as many as 21 home runs for Cleveland. So Ryan waiting, Wolf into the windup, and the strike one pitch is off the plate. Garco has not seen a lot of work. Travis Ishikawa has done a good job playing first base. The 1-1 pitch on the way, grounded foul outside of third down the line. Garco hitting only .227. He has 2 home runs, 12 runs batted in. He is 1 for 3 in the past against Randy, and appeared in the field yesterday for the first time since the 6th in Milwaukee. Hadn't started a game since then either. So Garco waiting. Randy Wolf back with a pitch that's hit back to the box. Randy backhands it, runs it halfway over to first, and just like that, 2 down here in the second inning, and the batter will be Aaron Rowand. Aaron Rowand has been in the league long enough with Philadelphia and with the Giants to have some at bats against Randy Wolf, but he's only 4 for 18. That's a .222 average. He does have a home run. Overall, hitting .267 with 15 home runs, 62 runs batted in. Rowand with the unusual batting stance takes low ball 1. He not only is straight up as far as the upper torso, he actually has his back somewhat concave. And the 1-0 pitch on the way, in for a strike, and the count 1-1. Aaron Rowan from Portland, Oregon, but lives in Las Vegas. Went to school down here, Cal State Fullerton. Looks at a slow curve and has to pay a price for it. The 1-2 to count to Aaron Rowan. Rowan, a marvelous center fielder defensively, has been a bit of a disappointment with the Giants, playing in the bigger ballpark than he had in Philadelphia. He takes low and away. Randy started to walk off the mound. 2-2 the count. So Randy thought he had the pitch on the outside corner, a little cutter, said thank you, and then, oh no. And plate umpire James Boy kind of looking at him. 2-2 pitch on the way. Rowan fouls it away. Aaron, when he was with the White Sox, had 24 home runs. When he was with the Phillies, he had 27. He only had 13 for the Giants last year, and he has 15 this year. But it is a matter of the ballpark. 2-2 pitch on the way is a fastball outside, ball 3. If you want to know the biggest difference between the Giants and the Dodgers, just look at how they have played within the division. And you'll go, oh, okay. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Rowan. Swung on, stroked towards left center, but Kemp on the run will pick it off. The Giants are break even in the West. The Dodgers are 20 games above 500. And it's 1-0 Giants. Big difference between the Dodgers and the Giants in the Western Division. We put it up on the screen and you can see the Dodgers 20 games above 500. The Giants are 500 and the Rockies are 5 games under 500. So you can understand why the Dodgers are in first place, rather comfortably ensconced. Now to the bottom of the second, it'll be Loney, Blake, and Belliard against Lincecum. His fastball is in for a strike, and they count 0-1. James hitting .282, 13 home runs, 87 runs batted in, all 13 home runs on the road. Loney hitting .133 against Lincecum, takes a strike. Yeah, that's right, .133, 2 for 15. We were talking a little while ago about the stride of Tim Lincecum, which is truly amazing. But there are also severe risks as his pitch goes all the way to the backstop. Number one, when you take such a big stride, it compromises your ability to rotate your hips, and it can cause a pitcher to land on his heel with somewhat of a stiff front leg. That would be like slamming on the brakes of a car going high speed. Next pitch foul back. And there are pitchers who have unusual strides, who've been badly injured, and it ruined their careers. And you say, well, then how does he do it? He's only 170 pounds. How can he possibly torture his body like that and be so successful? Well, he comes back, and there's a comebacker off his glove, but he has plenty of time. Picks it up, throws him out, throwing a little side armor to Ryan Garco, one away. What Lincecum says is what he calls his ankle kick. He snaps his right ankle as his right foot, the back foot, leaves the rubber. It comes off the rubber with such a snap upon the ball's release. His right foot is more than a foot in front of the rubber. That shrinks the distance between him and the batter. And a great overhand curveball for a strike to Casey Blake. 0-1 the count. So the mechanics of a Cy Young Award winner is there's strike one pitch, another sharp curve, and another strike. 0-2. Those who have studied him say he has the body of a gymnast, and he can rip off a backflip or walk on his hands to prove it. Now the strike two pitch, check swing, strike three in Blake is history. He got two big hard curves and a slider. So two strikeouts, 246 strikeouts now for Tim Lincecum, and the batter is Ronnie Belliard. Lincecum, when he was a junior in high school, show you when you're athletic, no barriers. The first pitch to Belliard is low. Ronnie hitting that grand slam in the first inning yesterday, his fourth slam of the year. He came home and said to his father, "Dad, I want to try out for the golf team." 1-0 pitch is missed, 1-1. And his father said, "Wait a minute, you played 27 holes of golf in your life. You don't own golf clubs. How could you possibly qualify for the golf team?" Well, they told him he had to shoot 40 on the last of 3 9-hole rounds to make the club. He shot 39. That's the first time he had ever really played golf. Belliard now with the count 1-2 strikes. 2 outs, second inning, 1-0 Giants. Lincecum right back with a fastball high. 2-2 the count. Numerically, he's not throwing as hard as his delivery. I mean, if you're down there at home plate, it looks like he's going to come hurtling off the mound at you. He's been hitting 92 on the gun. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Next pitch, a high fastball swung on and missed, and again at 92. Well, 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, and at the end of 2, 1-0 San Francisco. sacrifice. He has 13 of them. And he takes a pitch high, ball one. Lincecum has made 29 pitches in the first 2 innings. Wolf has made 30. The 1-0 pitch, fastball low, gets away from Martin. 2 balls and no strikes to Tim Lincecum. Randy Wolf, quite a study in his own right. 5'11", 200. 33 years old. Next pitch in there. 2-1 the count. Randy born in Canoga Park, and I'm sure most of you know went to Pepperdine. The 2-1 pitch swung on and fouled away. 2-2. Giants 1, Dodgers nothing. Top of the third. Now the 2-2 pitch on the way, and Lincecum swings right through it and strikes out. Strikeout number 1, but he fouled it, so hold off. Still 2-2. Just checking the fact that the Diamondbacks are leading the Rockies 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. 2-2 pitch. Lincecum fouls that one off. That's the battle of Aldo Jimenez and Dan Herron. The report: Dan Herron had an RBI single, but those who saw it say if Todd Helton were playing, it would not have gone as a base hit. Lincecum takes ball 3. Helton was hit by a line drive while sitting in the dugout yesterday and was unable to play today, and that could be an expensive injury. Over the last year up to now, Colorado's had a lot of trouble in Arizona anyway. Ground ball to third. Blake is on it, flips across to first in time. So 1 away. Yeah, the last year plus, the Rockies have lost 9 of 14 in Arizona. For the Giants, of course, the hope is that somebody will help them narrow the gap. They're 3.5 games back of the Rockies. The pitch at the right ankle of Andres Torres, ball 1. After this series, the Dodgers go to Washington, and the Giants have 3 in Arizona. Colorado will play 3 in San Diego. Check swing comeback to Randy, and a lob to first in time. So Torres goes from hitting a home run to a check swing comebacker. And we have 2 down in the third, and Freddie Sanchez coming up. If you looked at the 3 schedules, the Dodgers certainly have a far easy schedule. And for Colorado, it would appear that they have a tougher schedule than the Giants. Giants do have 4 with the Cubs, but Colorado has 3 with St. Louis and 3 with Milwaukee. Sanchez a strike, and the count 0-1. Giants lead 1-0 in the third. Strike 1 pitch inside, little cutter at the knuckles. 1 ball and 1 strike to Freddie. Homegrown, born in Hollywood, lives in Burbank, batting champion 3 years ago. Ground ball to third, backhanded by Blake. He straightens up to throw him out. Easy inning for Randy Wolf, and as he walks off at the end of 2.5 innings, 1-0 Giants. Here's 1-0 on a leadoff home run by Andres Torres. The Dodgers now will have Russell Martin, Randy Wolf, and Rafael Furcal. Tim Lincecum has struck out 3 in the first 2 innings. Now ready to pitch to Martin. Tim over the top. Breaking ball misses inside. Ball 1. Martin is 0 for 11 against Lincecum. He has company. Matt Kemp is also 0 for 11. The 1-0 pitch on the way in for a strike, and the count 1-1. When you talk about Lincecum, you talk about strikeouts. 19 times he has had a double-digit strikeout game. 7 times this year. Tim works from the first base side of the rubber, and the 1-1 pitch in for a strike, and the count 1-2. Lincecum, Tim Lincecum, first round pick by the Giants 3 years ago. The next pitch fouled away. So here's a kid. He was signed in 06, came up in 07, and was the Cy Young Award winner in 08. Talk about getting there in a hurry. The 1-2 pitch to Martin is swung on, fly ball to center. Aaron Noren is right there. So 1 away in the 3rd. You can cruise into the deep blue aboard the first ever Dodger Fantasy Cruise. You can join Steve Garvey and other Dodger greats. A 7-day carnival cruise along the Mexican Riviera, November 15th through the 22nd. To book your cabin or to learn more, give us a call, 323-224-2646, or visit Dodgers.com/cruise. And here's Randy, good hitter, and takes a pitch off the plate. Ball 1, 1-0. Randy, in his last 8 games, has been a hitter, not just a pitcher. And the 1-0 pitch is high, ball 2. In fact, over that stretch, Randy's 6 for 20, 2 doubles, a home run, and 5 RBI. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Lincecum right back high and away. So all of a sudden, he's out of rhythm, and a 3-0 count to Randy Wolf. So Lincecum walks around the mound deep in thought, trying to figure out what's wrong. He did walk Ramirez, but he was kind of pitching around him, I think. Waiting on deck, Rafael Furcal. 3-0 pitch, and that is low. Ball 4. So for the Dodgers, they get a break as Randy Wolf draws a 1-out walk. And Rafael Furcal will fly to right in the first inning coming up. Furcal hitting .250, 3 for 12, but then flied to right field and gave up some more points as far as facing Lincecum is concerned. He's perked up, hitting safely 12 of his last 13. So with 1 out, Randy Wolf at first, held on by Ryan Garco. Lincecum set at the belt. Timmy ready, big overhand curveball in for a strike. Furcal bailed out, but it got the inside corner. Rafael checking with Larry Boa to see if there's a play on. Andre Ethier on deck. 0-1 the count. Lincecum right back off the plate, and a 1-ball 1-strike count. If you joined us late, Andres Torres led off with a home run into the bleachers in left center, and that's it. 1-0 Giants. The 1-1 pitch to Rafael Furcal is low. Ball 2. 2-1 the count. So Lincecum had struck out 3. Did walk Ramirez, then lost it a bit and walked Wolf. And now 2-1 the count to Rafael Furcal. You don't usually put on a play with a pitcher as the base runner. In this count, 2-1, it's certainly a manager's count. Lincecum now wants to tie the laces on his shoes, so timeout. Boa has already checked. Of course, with all the twisting, the turning, the jumping, that long stride, You'd figure his uniform would eventually start to come apart from top to bottom. So Lincecum literally coming out of his shoes, breaking the laces. Now working on a 2-1 count to Rafael Furcal. Right-hander ready. Fastball swung on. Fly ball to center. Fighting the sun is Aaron Rowan. Fighting, makes the catch. Oh, that was a thoroughly professional play out there. Brilliant sky. Needless to say, he's had a lot of fly balls like that, but you could tell that was really tough. So Andre Ethier coming up, and it's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4 putouts so far of high fly balls. Add to that 3 strikeouts. The only ball on the ground was that check swing comebacker by Loney. Andre Ethier takes a strike, and the count 0-1. So Ethier, 4 for 15 at the start of the game. He's now hitting .250 against Lincecum when he struck out. But as we said, he has just devoured the National League West. Strike 1 pitch. Ethier holds up on a pitch in the dirt. No swing, says third base umpire Bob Davidson. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Tomorrow, the Dodgers go out on the road. They'll play 3 in Washington and 4 in Pittsburgh. And the feeling is, I'm sure, if they're fortunate, play well enough, they ought to clinch the division while on the road. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Lincecum at the belt. Here he comes and works it away. Ball 2. So it took him 29 pitches in the first 2 innings, and starting out by walking Randy Wolf. He's labored a little bit here in the hot sun. 84 when the game began. 2-1 pitch. Ethier takes off the plate. Ball 3. 3-1. For Lincecum, the most pitches in an inning right now. 18. With 2 out and a 3-1 count to Ethier. Waiting on deck, Manny Ramirez. This is a big at-bat for Ethier. 3-1 the count. 1-0 Giants in the third. Lincecum ready. Here he comes, and it's a fastball on the outside corner, and the count runs to 3-2. Ethier with all of his numbers, 282, 30 home runs. 21 of his 30 home runs have been hit here in the ballpark. 3-2, Wolf goes, and it is swung on. A drive into right center field. Rowan to the track, at the wall, leaps in the air, it's gone. 2-run home run for Andre Ethier, and the Dodgers lead 2-1. Ethier driving 1 out, and of course you have to have the ability to hit the home run, but you knew in your heart that Lincecum did not want to see Manny Ramirez with 2 on. So he got a pitch into the zone, and Andre took it out. Manny now takes ball 1 as the Dodgers take a 2-1 lead. 31 home runs for Andre Ethier, 22 of them hit here at Dodger Stadium. The 1-0 pitch, and that's a strike. For Lincecum, that is only the 10th home run that he has allowed, and we're talking about 210 innings. The career highs for Andre Ethier, a Western high. Boy, what he has done to the National League West is one reason why the Dodgers are 20 games above. Big swing and a miss by Manny, and a 1-2 count. And again, it certainly doesn't demean Ethier to say he gets better pitches to hit because Manny's hitting back of him, because after all, he has to hit them. And he does. The 1-2 pitch on the way is swung on, fouled away off to the right. So the Dodgers have turned it around, and they lead the Giants 2-1. Dodgers have won 10 of 17, winning 5 of 9 up north, and they're trying to make it 6 out of 9 here at home. Manny waiting, Lincecum ready, and the 1-2 pitch is down and away, ball 2. So Lincecum would probably kick himself for walking Randy Wolf. That was the key to the inning. Then he fell behind to Ethier and paid the price. So Randy is leading 2-1. Bottom of the third, 2 out. 2-2 the count to Manny Ramirez. And Lincecum delivers, foul back to the screen. Manny was in a happy-go-lucky mood today earlier when they started to read off the Dodger lineup. At shortstop, Rafael for a call. The crowd would roar. Manny would go out and take a bow. And as they called off about 4 players, each time Manny ran up the steps, cocked his cap. So he's in a Sunday mood. 2-2 pitch on the way, inside at the kneecap, ball 3. Dodgers 2, Giants 1, third inning. Matt Kemp waiting on deck. And again, Lincecum has to tie his laces. An awful lot going on out there when he's pitching. 3-2, light breeze blowing out to left field. Lincecum ready, and here he comes. Swung on, little dribbler by the mound. Going to be a tough play for Uribe. Bare hands, throws, and got him. Nice play by Juan Uribe on a little dribbler by the mound. But it is Andre Ethier's moment. His 31st home run with a man aboard. And at the end of 3, 2-1, Dodgers. It is 2-1 in favor of the Dodgers. Randy Wynn, Pablo Sandoval, and Benji Molina coming up here in the 4th inning. Randy fly to center, 0 for 1. And ball 1. Remember the story about Randy going to a Clipper basketball game with a younger relative? And they had a promotional stunt. You shoot from half court, you have 1 shot, and if you sink it, you get a car. Anyway, Randy had played basketball at Santa Clara, and he went out. Nobody really knew who it was. Took the basketball and sank it to win the car. 1-2. Giants have had pretty good luck against left-hand starters coming into the game, 21-17. Typical of the Giants, they have played very, very well at home and very poorly on the road. Foul ball. Take the Giants trying to catch Colorado. They wound up the season series with the Rockies, winning 10 of 18. They won 7 of 9 at AT&T Park. But they went to Denver and lost 6 out of 9. So they're 3.5 games back of the Rockies. There's a one-hopper, the call from the rim. One away. Okay, you ready for the Aflac trivia question? Tim Lincecum is one of 2 Giants ever to win the National League Cy Young Award. Who's the other? And always when you give you the answer, if we don't qualify, if we don't say the San Francisco Giants, it's like if we don't say Los Angeles Dodgers, that opens it all up. Maybe that'll give you a hint. Pablo Sandoval walked in the first inning. Fastball missed. 1 ball and no strikes to Pablo. Has the reputation of being a very good bad ball hitter. Hitting .322. Right. The other night we were talking about Felipe Alou, saying you never talk to a Dominican player and tell him he has to be a selective hitter. Check swing strike. Felipe said selective down there only means you think of the Army. And the old story they've always said about the Dominican and other places, you don't walk off, you have to hit your way off or out. He's from Venezuela. And let's see where that ball was. It was a 1-2 count, and I think it was up out of the strike zone. Not that it makes any difference to Sandoval. Take a look. Yeah, up there, up around the shoulders. But he just goes up and gets it. So don't tell Sandoval about being selective. 1 out single, and here comes Benji Molina. Molina has grounded into 3 double plays in the series, 14 for the year. Ball 1. However, he also has 18 home runs and 74 runs batted in. Benji was off yesterday, so he has an active 9-game hitting streak. And that's whacked to Kemp. Matt had that thing all the way. It's an amazing thing, but watching Kemp play almost every day. On balls hit to his left or right, he gets a great jump. He's always on the move. I don't think I have seen him not get a good jump on a ball hit to his left or right, but I have seen him freeze so many times on a ball hit to dead center, and then most of the time, even though he didn't get a jump on that, he'll make the catch. And another one, and again he's right there. So despite the base hit, no runs, 1 hit, a man left at the end of 3.5, still 2-1 Dodgers. unusual delivery of Tim Lincecum. Now we're going to show you and freeze the 4 boxes. Now, first of all, notice not only the left leg is high up in the air, but his head tilts back. You even see that in the upper right picture and again lower left. Scouts did not like that at all. They thought with that head tilting back, it was bad news. Now look at the stride. As we said, 129% of his actual height, which is 6. Notice how he arches his back and twists the hips. It is really amazing that he doesn't hurt himself. But here he goes. And a strike to Matt Kemp. Indian rubber man, but as he said, it's that ankle kick that helps him get back into position. Fastball on the hands and rolls it into right field. Now, I'm not sure about Ryan Garco on that. Whether Garco, first baseman will tell you that every now and then they will run away from a ground ball. I don't know if Ryan thought that Sanchez would shift it over because Lincecum was running over on the grass. He expected a play to be made on that ground ball. For Kemp, that's his first hit ever against Lincecum. There's the ground ball. There goes Tim running over. Garco is at the bag. Sanchez not even close to the air. So Matt will take it. His first hit ever against Lincecum. And now Loney. He'll hit back to the box in the second inning. Now with all of the twisting, the turning, etc. of Lincecum, he can't afford to do that with a runner on base. And he certainly can't afford to do it with Kemp. Matt has stolen 34 out of 41. You twist and turn, he's got your wallet. Now you can see the complete difference, the slide step, where his left foot stays very close to the ground. One ball and no strikes. That uniform really hanging on Timmy. As we said, he's 6 feet, maybe 170 pounds, maybe not. 1-1. Big curveball. He really labored in the third inning. He had made 29 pitches the first 2, 28 in the third. So he began this inning having already made 57 pitches in 3 innings. One and one. Off the plate, ball 2, 2-1 the count. Well, on a 2-1 count, the manager's count. We'll see what that means. Loney's reading Boa. Kemp also wants to take a look. It's 2-1 Dodgers, bottom of the 4th. We'll watch Kemp. He's not gone. Ground ball into right field. Kemp will go to second and hold on. So back-to-back singles by Kemp and Loney. We have time. Remember our Aflac trivia question? It had to do with the fact that Tim Lincecum is one of 2 Giants ever to win the National League Cy Young Award. Who is the other? Yes, a left-hander, Mike McCormick, who led the National League with 22 wins, and that's why we told you it wasn't necessarily the San Francisco Giants. And of course the Cy Young Award is over 50 years old. But for Mike, one brilliant year. He never had more than 15 wins in any other season. 1 ball and no strikes to Casey Blake with Ronnie Belliard on deck. Dodgers 2, Giants 1. Last we heard, still 1-0 Diamondbacks, bottom of the 4th inning. And Dan Herron, a good hitting pitcher, knocked it in. The bunt up along third. Sandoval runs it over and the runners move up. So Casey Blake does his job, bunts him along. That's his first sacrifice of the year, and he got the job done. And Ronnie Belliard, who came up in the first inning yesterday with the bases loaded and made the most of it against Brad Penny. Interesting, in the aftermath of his 4th grand slam, there was a big difference of opinion. Ronnie Belliard was hit. He hit the grand slam. They asked him, "What did you hit?" He said, "A fastball." They asked Brad Penny, "What'd you give up?" He said, "A changeup." All right. If they don't know. Second and third. Here's Belliard. Ball 1. Russell Martin on deck. That was a pretty good trick for Casey Blake to get the bunt down. He has not sacrificed all year. 1-0. And a shot inside first down the line, and it bounces back towards the infield. So that guarantees 2 runs on a single, and the Dodgers lead 4-1. A nice bit of hitting by Belliard, getting a ball up and away. He hit it right over the bag, and then it hit the trash can and brought the ball back towards the infield. So Belliard picks up 2 RBIs. The Dodgers lead 4-1. And here is Russell Martin, who tries to continue to abuse Tim Lincecum. 3 hits for 2 runs. Lincecum has never lost to the Dodgers because he's not been around that long. He came in 1-0 this year, 3-0 lifetime. So Lincecum had never lost. Matt Cain and Jonathan Sanchez had never won against the Dodgers. Lincecum with an ERA of 2.3, and he's given up 4. And in the dirt. He just changed completely. Remember the second inning? He struck out Blake and Belliard. He was throwing hard overhand curveballs and sliders. And then he went out to the mound in the 3rd inning, and he just wasn't the same. Then when he walked Randy Wolf, he was set up, and Ethier hit 1 out. And now 3 singles for 2 runs here in the 4th. Very high. So he's just not the same. Also remember, at 6 feet and maybe 170 pounds, he came in here having already worked 207 innings. And in this day and age, that is a huge number of innings. It's over 210 now. And there goes Belliard, and it's a hit-and-run pop fly. The infielders try to confuse Belliard, but he gets back to the bag as Sandoval made the catch. Pretty good freight by Freddie Sanchez. But if you're born in Hollywood, you ought to know how to fake it. And he put on a great fake, trying to fool Belliard completely. But Ronnie was able to get back. Watch this. Yeah, he's looking for the throw that never came, never had to come, and Belliard said, "Wait a minute," and he gets back. So with 2 out, here is Randy Wolf, who caused him all the trouble earlier when he walked. Inside on Lincecum, he's been behind at some point in the count to 9 of 10 hitters in the last 2 innings. Behind. 1-1 the count to Randy Wolf. So something happened after 2 strong innings, and all of a sudden he's down 4-1. There's a beach ball loose in right field. That's ball 2. Well, the ball boy will have to get down and get it in the right field corner. In the inning, Kemp rolled 1 into right field. Loney rolled 1 into right field. Blake sacrificed. Belliard singled over first, and 2 runs scored. And there he is again behind 3-1. And hold everything. Dave Righetti says, I just can't stand it. I got to go out and talk to him. Because again, we showed you all of the things that Lincecum does before he releases the ball. And of course, the more things you do, the more chance something goes wrong. And something has definitely gone wrong in the last 2 innings. So he's fallen behind now to 10 of the 11 batters that he has faced in the 3rd and 4th innings. And I don't care how good you are or how you contort your body, etc. You can't pitch well in the big leagues falling behind consistently. Remember, there was a 3-ball count on Ethier when he hit his home run. 3-1 to Randy Wolf. And his fight. For the Giants, time is their enemy. This is game number 149, so they have 13 games left, and they trail the Rockies by 3.5. Runner goes, fly ball to Rowan, again fighting the sun, and makes the catch. But the Dodgers scramble for another deuce, and at the end of 4, a puzzle Lincecum leads, and the Dodgers lead 4-1. Money crunch? Try Shakey's all-you-can-eat bunch of lunch. Pizza, chicken, and more. Served 11 to 2 daily only at your neighborhood Shakey's. Dodgers take a 4-1 lead into the 5th inning. Ronnie Belliard had that grand slam yesterday, singled in the 4th inning to drive in 2. Add that to the 2-run home run by Andre Ethier, and the Dodgers have given Tim Lincecum a bad time in 4 innings. Of course, let's face it, Tim Lincecum has given Lincecum a bad time, losing his control. Randy with that big, slow curveball, ball 1 to Ryan Garco. Lincecum not ready to throw in the towel, but nevertheless down 4-1. That's a pop fly for Call, going out, calling, puts it away. Randy Wolf, meanwhile, it has such an orthodox delivery, there's nothing really to study. Randy gets it, stays all together and delivers, and he's allowed 3 hits. He's allowed 1 hit since the 1st inning. Not allowed a runner to get to second base since the 1st inning. Here's Aaron Rowan. Right. Rowan followed by the pitcher, Tim Lincecum. Out of play. 0-2. Aaron, certainly one of the finest center fielders in the game today. Among all active Major League center fielders, he has the highest defensive zone rating, and that includes people like Carlos Beltran, Mike Cameron. 1-2 to Aaron. Last year, actually 2 years ago, he was with Philadelphia, and now he goes back empty-handed. He had 4 extra base hit games in the same season, but he's not having that kind of a year for the Giants. Well, here's Lincecum. We want to talk to you about your baseball dreams. A chance to play baseball at the Dodgers 2009 adult baseball camp in Vero Beach. That's a strike. You can join Dodger Legends November 1 through the 7th, a once-in-a-lifetime experience. We can give you a number to call. Here's the strike one pitch. Ground ball to third. This should be the inning. The number is 323-224-2646. Or visit Dodgers.com/fantasycamp. And the Dodgers still lead 4-1. Hankook Tires. Tame the road with Hankook Tires. And by Mazda's Summer Drive-Off event. Drive off with the best deals of the summer on a fun-to-drive Mazda. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Rafael Furcal, Andre Ethier, and Manny Ramirez. And there's Lincecum falling behind immediately. So he's really off his feed today. Interesting, mentioning a moment ago about the fact that he's worked over 210 innings, and in this day and age, that's a lot. But remember, in this day and age, you have 5 starting pitchers. For it seemed like 100 years, you had a big 4. So that the pitchers, some of them work well over 300 innings a year. And completed games. And there's ball 4. So the Tim Lincecum that came in here 14-5 with an ERA of 2.3 is not the same. Number 16, Andre Ethier struck out in the first inning, got the count his way in the third, hit it out. Bruce Bochy very restless and unhappy in the dugout. If he can't win with his ace, he's in a lot of trouble as time runs out. A lot of the experts were writing and speaking about how important this game is, because the Dodgers are going to face an ace, someone of the quality of a Tim Lincecum, and then they say what they do against Lincecum will give you an index. What they're going to do, let's say, against Cliff Lee, A.J. Happ, Cole Hamill, Chris Carpenter, Adam Wainwright, etc. And there goes for a call. What a jump. I mean, Lincecum is just not in it. There was no way Molina, who's a Gold Glove, could have made a play. I mean, Lincecum is either just tired or worried. You see how he raised his leg? I mean, he just plumb is out of it. So Brandon Metters now is throwing in the pen. That's a strike to Ethier, 1-1. So Metters is throwing, and I would say Lincecum is physically wearied and also mentally tapped out, at least for the moment. And tired mentally is certainly part of the game when you get late in September. And there he is behind again. He's been behind on almost everybody in the last 2 innings plus. Two balls and 1 strike. And there he goes again, ball 3. So I don't know how long Bochy will let him stay out there. On deck is Manny Ramirez. Metters is about ready if they want him in the pen. And they're on the phone. We're getting the answer, is he ready? 3-1 to Andre Ethier. Dodgers lead 4-1. High strike, letter high, outside part of the plate. 3-2. Pablo Sandoval would have thought that was right down the middle. Remember that ball he got for a base hit? Wasn't much higher than that. Time. Ethier, 31 home runs, 22 of them hit here. Maybe Loney and Ethier should switch bats. Loney, 13 home runs, all on the road. And there's ball 4. And in that delivery, Lincecum really wasn't even looking at the strike zone. And here comes Bochy. I tell you what, I had the feeling he had it last inning. But because he is the ace, they let him make one more pitch, and he's done. So a tired warrior, that is young Tim Lincecum, just completely tapped out in the 3rd inning. And for the last time this year, we had a look at him, and boy, we'll be looking at him for a long time to come, and we'll be back. by Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. With the Dodgers leading 4-1, and the Dodgers warming up in the heat to KO Tim Lincecum, Brandon Metters comes in now to face Manny Ramirez with 2 on and nobody out. Ramirez 2 for 3 with a home run against Metters coming into the series. Ball 1. By the way, we mentioned earlier about how Loney, all of his home runs on the road. Yesterday we went fishing and Loney hit a home run here. Sorry, Gibbs. 1 ball and no strikes to Manny. He walked, grounded out, 0 for 1. Right. One ball and 1 strike to Manny Ramirez. Facing Brandon Metters, who is 4-1, good ERA of 3. Metters has given up a half a dozen home runs, if that thought crossed your mind. 1 and 2. So Lincecum went 4 innings. First 2 innings he was fine, and then the wheels came off the wagon in the 3rd and the 4th. Couldn't throw strikes, behind on all the hitters. So Timmy went 4 innings plus, charged with at least 4 runs, 4 hits. Unlike him, with 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, which is totally not Lincecum. So the Dodgers took advantage of it. Now let's see what they can do against Metters. And a slicing drive to right. Going back is Wynn, right in front of the scoreboard to make the catch. Tagging up at second is for Call and moves to third. So Manny, a long fly ball to right. And the Dodgers have first and third with 1 out. And Matt Kemp coming up. So Lincecum is responsible for the runners at first and third. Benji Molina talking to the infield, keeping everybody in the game. 1 out. And here's Kemp. Home runs yesterday. Ronnie Belliard, Matt Kemp, and James Loney. Matt fly to center, single to right, scored a run. Foul back. No balls and 1 strike. Dodgers leave for Washington after the game. The Giants will go over to Arizona, and Colorado is home with San Diego, and the Rockies are terrific at home. 0-2. The Rockies are 45-27 at home. 1 game above 500 on the road. So the Giants have a very, very tough challenge trying to catch the Rockies in the waning days. 0-2 to Matt Kemp. All the way to the backstop. Here comes the run. Down to second goes Ethier. 5-1 Dodgers. And Rafael Furcal belongs to Lincecum. And so does Ethier, now at second base on that wild pitch. So Metters lets 1 fly. Molina couldn't come up out of the crouch to get it. For Metters, that would be only his 2nd wild pitch. So Kemp now trying to pick up 8th here with the Dodgers out in front 5-1. Off speed, almost knit him. 2-2. .67-mile-an-hour curveball that didn't curve. Meadows worked 2/3 of an inning Friday night. 2-2. In that 2/3 of an inning, he managed to walk Kemp. 2-2 to Matt. Popped in the air, foul. No play, but you know who wanted to catch it? Meadows. Well, you see where Meadows took off. Boy, you talk about hustling, trying to do everything you can. Watch this. Foul ball, and who's moving? Meadows. Not Molina. Not Garco. Good try, Brandon. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Fouled away. I guess you could call that major league talent and sandlot enthusiasm. Pretty good combination. Brandon Meadows. He's the accomplished guitarist out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Originally signed by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Dodgers 5, Giants 1. Dodgers still in business here in the 5th inning with 1 out. James Loney on deck. Off speed and missed. So the slow curveball that almost hit Kemp. This time Meadows gets it over the plate. Well, Meadows picks up a K, and the batter is Loney. Hit back to the box and single to right. It wasn't that the Dodgers were hitting shots against Lincecum. Lincecum was his own worst enemy, falling behind to all the hitters in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings. So he just came unwound. For the Giants, every opportunity is so important. They're going to walk Loney intentionally. And with just a few games left, Bruce Bochy knows in his heart he can't afford to lose a game which is started by Lincecum. And yet, when you look back, they started Matt Cain. He's one of his big 3. Cain has never beaten the Dodgers. Then he started Jonathan Sanchez here Friday night. Sanchez has never beaten the Dodgers. So today, I mean, was a game he really had to count on. And Lincecum just didn't have it. So the Dodgers lead 5-1. And here's Casey Blake. Casey struck out in the 2nd inning. And then they asked him to do something he hadn't done all year. Sacrifice. And he did it. And that led to 2 runs. Casey with 17 home runs, 75 runs batted in. You know, one of the amazing things about the Dodgers, when you look at their lineup, they have 8 men on the club who have received 50 or more walks. In fact, all 8 over 50. Coming into this game, Blake 63, Ethier 62, for Paul 56, Hudson 53, Kemp 51, Loney 64, Martin 62, Ramirez 61, and Tomei a cumulative 69. Big bouncer to third, fair ball on the bag for the out. But the Dodgers get one, leave a couple, and at the end of 5, lead Metters and the Giants 5-1. Struck out 15, and his catcher Norm Cherry hit the last home run at the Coliseum. Norm's brother Larry was the most valuable player in the 1959 World Series. Let's go back to this one. Randy Wolf with a comfortable 5-1 lead. Andres Torres 0-1 the count. Torres homered and hit back to the box. And a towering drive. Wow, Manny just turns to see where it's going. It went way back, more than halfway up. Boy, oh boy, Andres Torres hits his second home run, and that was a monster. Manny's standing out there looking up at the crowd, holding up his glove. I think he was wondering if the fan would throw it back, and the fan does. So Manny retrieves the ball, throws it back up into the stands. So he's playing catch. It is 5-2 as Andres Torres having a big day. 2 home runs to get the Giants a little bit closer. 0-1 to Freddie Sanchez. First time in his career Andres Torres has had a 2 home run game. Randy Wolf, in allowing 2, has now given up 23. And as far as the 23 home runs allowed, he just passed John Garland, who had a collective total of 22. Two and 2 to Freddie Sanchez. Single to right, grounded to third. Off the plate, ball 3. On deck, Randy Wynn. Then Pablo Sandoval. And that's strike 3. Freddie thought it was ball 4. So Randy Wolf picks up a strikeout. That would be his second. And the batter Win with Sandoval on deck. Randy Wynn flied to center, grounded to short, 0 for 2. On paper, it didn't figure that Randy Wynn would be playing. If you looked at the lineup, he's hitting 157 against left-handers. But then if you look closer, he was hitting 300 against Randy Wolf. So if he's hitting 300 against Wolf, he's hitting nothing against the others. 3-0 with Sandoval waiting on deck. Off the plate. So a 1-out walk to Win brings up Sandoval, who has walked and singled. We can also tell you as Honeycutt checked the phone to get somebody up in the Dodger bullpen, the Rockies have taken a 2-1 lead over the D-backs in the top of the 7th inning. Yorvin Torrealba had a base hit to drive in a run. Ian Stewart followed with a base hit to drive in a run. And the Rockies lead 2-1 7th inning in a game featuring Ubaldo Jimenez and Dan Herron. Remember, the Rockies have had a terrible time in the last year or so. They've lost 9 of 14 played in Arizona. Ronald Belisario will get up in the Dodger bullpen. The Giants have not done well in Colorado. They've lost 6 out of 9. But in Arizona, the Giants have won 4 out of 6 at home and 4 out of 6 in Arizona. But while the Dodgers head for Washington, San Francisco will head for Arizona. Sandoval 1 for 1, hitting .324. Ball 1. So a home run by Torres. He went 3-2 to Sanchez. Just did get a strike. Walk Win. Now 1-0 to Pablo. Big curveball almost hit him. 2-0 the count. Well, Randy witnessed Tim Lincecum's control coming apart at the seams. They have a nickname for Sandoval up north. They call him the Panda. He is one big panda. 5'11", 240. Chopper speared by Wolf. Juggles, drops it again, and then gets Sandoval. So Randy was really fighting it. The comebacker would have been an inning-ending double play. Now he'll have to pitch to Benji Molina, and he also lost the force play at second. Nice play there, and now all the trouble. Whoops. And then luckily he had Sandoval batting right-handed. So a runner at second and 2 out. Molina hit into a double play. Fly to center. Benji 0 for 2. Rockies have just picked up another run. Clint Barmas just squeezed in Yorvin Torrealba. So they've scored 3 times in the 7th against Dan Herron, and the Rockies lead the Diamondbacks 3-1. Certainly bad news for the Giants in the battle for the wild card. That's going foul. 0-2. Molina is just 4 for 19 against Randy Wolf. He does have 1 home run against him. 0-2. Yesterday, the Giants showed you a glimpse of the future. They had Madison Bumgarner and Buster Posey, the kid catcher. But right now they stay with the veteran Molina. And down he goes. 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Randy. A run comes home on the home run, and at the end of 5.5, 5-2 Dodgers. Walk with 2 out. Andre Ethier got a 3-2 pitch away and was able to hit the ball into the seats over the right center field wall. Well, you go back to the thought. There is Ethier, 2 out. The pitcher Wolf has walked, and the count goes 3-2. Chances are, with Manny Ramirez waiting on deck, you're going to get something reasonably good to hit, because the last thing Lincecum wanted to do was walk Ethier. So he got something reasonably good to hit, and then more importantly, he hit it. So the Dodgers leading 5-2. Ball 1 to Ronnie Belliard, who was struck out and singled to right. One and all. In there. 5 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers, all of it charged to Lincecum. Lincecum came in here 59 walks, 244 strikeouts. Look back to think, what game did he pitch where he walked more than he struck out? Just looking. Two and 2. Ball 3. Believe it or not, against Cincinnati, Lincecum, the 18th of August, walked 3 and struck out 2. So that's the only game, after a cursory look at the year, where Lincecum walked more than he struck out. And today, up jumped the devil. He walked 4, struck out 3. Fouled away. Another thing, all 5 runs charged to Lincecum were earned. That tied a season high in his young career. 7 earned runs in a game. A high. He had 5 against the Mets, middle of May. He had 5 at Cincinnati. That's the one game where he walked 3, struck out 2. And that's it. It's also it for Ronnie Belliard. 1 away, and Russell Martin coming up. So Metters strikes out his second man. Russell Martin flied to center, popped to third, 0 for 2. On this hot day, it was 84 when the game started. It's probably a little hotter. Hong-Chi Kuo begins to loosen up. Strike. Uribe, Garco, and Rowan due up in the 7th inning. 1-1 the count to Martin. Hitting .256. 6 home runs, 49 runs batted in. On deck, Randy Wolf. Big bouncer, backhanded by Sandoval. 2 down. For Meadows, that figures to be his last inning. Uribe, Garco, Rowan, and if they get anything going, they would certainly hit for him. Down in the bullpen, the left-handed Dan Runzler begins to loosen up. Runzler from Riverside, so another local boy coming back. 1 ball and no strikes to Randy Wolf. Probably one of the bigger at-bats in the 3rd inning with 1 out. 1-0 Giants, and Wolf walked against Lincecum. And for Tim Lincecum, that was the beginning of the end. He went 3-2 on Ethier and gave up the home run. 4th inning, 3 singles to right, and then back-to-back walks in the 5th, and he was history. 1-1. Good fastball, 1-2. Meadows hits 91 on the gun. Breaking ball takes care of Randy. 3 strikeouts for Meadows. It does a good job in relief at the end of 6. 5-2 Dodgers. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Juan Uribe, Ryan Garco, and Aaron Rowan against Randy Wolf, and that's going to be base hit into right field. So Uribe goes 1 for 3. And you can bet the Dodgers are watching Randy Wolf very carefully. He had made 83 pitches for 6 innings, but more importantly, he labored a bit and made 20 pitches in the 6th. Then here comes Joe with a hook. So you had the feeling that Randy was on thin ice, if you can have thin ice on a warm day like today. So he goes out, having gone the required 5. This is the top of the 7th. He's allowed 2 runs, only 1 other his responsibility. So Randy leaves where he can only win his 11th or have nothing to do with it, which would be 15 no decisions. So Randy goes out, Hung-Chi Kuo coming in, and we'll be back. His shoulder, John Garland and Randy Wolf. Randy made 85 pitches and surrenders the ball to Hung-Chi Kuo. Kuo facing Ryan Garco, and Garco is hitting a very solid 290 against left-hand pitching. For the year, Garco's hitting only 222. Hung-Chi Kuo is in his 31st game. Foul ball. Kuo with a good ERA, less than 2.5. He has only pitched 25 innings. And his strikeout to walk ratio is 3-1. 5-2 in favor of the Dodgers. Uribe at first, nobody out. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan Garco. Kuo has a string, 9 straight scoreless innings in his last 9 games. He's been scoreless in 15 of his last 16 appearances. 2-1. Remember that Kuo was on the DL. That's why we haven't seen a lot of him. But since coming back off the DL after missing 3 months with a sore left elbow, his earned run average is 1.3. Dazzle. And a drive to right, but it's slicing right deep here. Little room service fly ball. So Uribe holds with 1 out, and Aaron Rowan coming up.
Giant center fielder number 33, Aaron Rowan.
Aaron Rowan flied to center and struck out against Randy Wolf. Rowan came into the game hitting only .220 against left-hand pitching. He went 0 for 2 against Wolf. Now he gets another left-hander. Ball 1. Rich Aurelia, the veteran on the club, is out on deck now to bat for Meadows. 5-2 favor the Dodgers. 7th inning, 1 out. Uribe at first. Giants got a run in the first. Dodgers got 2 in the third and 2 in the fourth, adding yet another on a wild pitch in the 5th. Giants scoring can be summed up in one word: Torres. Andres Torres will homered in the first and homered in the 6th. That's it. Outside of the home runs by Torres, Giants had Sanchez get to second, Wynn get to second, and that's it. Well, Aaron is still there. 1-2 the count. Rowan hitting about $175 over the last 25 games. Ground ball to third. Blake up with it down to Belliard. He turns it to Lona. 5-4-3 double play. No runs ahead, nobody left. Randy Wolf sees the sun shining him in more ways than one. The crowd will be asked to join and sing "God Bless America" and then "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Accompanied by Nancy B. at the Dodger Stadium organ.
God bless America, land and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Matt Borzello. Now, Dodger fans, it's time for a call for
The Giant bullpen to pick up with the Dodgers leading 5-2. Howery, Phoenix boy who now lives in Glendale. He was a number 5 pick by the Giants 15 years ago out of McNeese State University. About 7 years ago, he won a weightlifting program, and he had really put together. He's 6'5", 225. So Howery pitching to the top of the order for Call, Ethier, and Ramirez. Fastball whacked to right field. Back goes Wynn to the track. At the gate, it is off the gate. Call is on his way for 3. He is in there standing with a triple. For Rafael, his 5th triple of the year. Went down to get it and really drove it. That close, hitting the bullpen gate. So with nobody out, Ethier, Ramirez, and Kemp, the heart of the Dodger lineup, asked to pick him up. So for Call 1 for 3, also walked and scored in the 5th inning on the wild pitch. So Howery is welcome. Right. Ethier struck out in the 1st inning against Lincecum. Then on a 3-2 pitch, hit a 2-run home run in the 3rd. And then in the 5th inning, he was the last man that Lincecum faced, and he walked. Andre, 31 home runs, 22 of them here at Dodger Stadium. Fights that off. Ethier against the West. 1st in hits, 1st in doubles. Tied with Mark Reynolds, but maybe past him in home runs. He has 15 against the West. 1st in runs batted in, 1st in extra base hits. He is tied for 1st in game-winning hits with Giant catcher Benji Molina. So Ethier leads in everything but used towels after a game. 1-2 the count. Infield is halfway. Went down to get it, came up empty. So Andre losing a chance. He has 101 RBIs. Now Manny Ramirez. Manny walked, grounded to short, fly to right, 0 for 2. Manny and Howery are certainly old friends. Howery spent a lot of years with the Chicago White Sox, and they're just not going to mess around. They'll take the bat right out of Manny's hands. For the record, let it be noted that Manny was hitting .500 against Howery, 4 for 8. Well, let's look at the Rockies game. Rockies were down 1-0, tied it up, went ahead, led 3-1, and Jason Giambi has just hit a home run with a man aboard against Dan Herron, and the Rockies are leading the Diamondbacks 5-1, and that's top of the 9th inning. That is bad news for the Giants.
Center fielder, number 27, Matt Kemp.
So Matt Kemp coming up. 1st and 3rd, 1 out in the 7th. Giants down 5-2. Dodgers won 5 of 9 at AT&T Park, and they're trying to make it 6 out of 9 here, and they would finish up the year then 11-7 against San Francisco. Matt flied to center, single to right, struck out. His single to right, just a little ground ball that found its way, and that was the beginning of the end for Lincecum. Game Maloney on deck. Ball 1. Bob Howery sounds like a country boy from Arizona, and certainly one of his favorite sports is bull riding. One ball and no strikes. Oh, in the dirt all the way to the backstop. The Dodgers' second time today. Raphael scores on a wild pitch. It happened in the 5th and again in the 7th. So just like that, the Dodgers take a 6-2 lead. It looked, do you see what Benji Molina was doing with the glove? He did not know what to do with that. If we look at it again, you'll see Benji start to backhand it, then turn the glove, and then try to go back, and he just couldn't control it. See if we can squeeze that in after this pitch. 2-0 the man. Just look at his glove. Turn it, then the other way, then backhand again, and by that time it's gone. So when you see a Gold Glove catcher like Benji Molina having trouble which way to set the glove for the pitch in the dirt, must have been a lot on that one. 2 wild pitches, one charge to Lincecum, that scored for call. This one charged to Howery, that brought Raphael home. Kemp skies one off first foul back into the crowd. Today a sellout, so it'll be interesting to officially get the right numbers. And they are here, the families, bless them. We have one Sunday left. That'll be on October the 4th against Colorado. If you need a pacifier, bring one along. 2-2. And a fly ball to center. Rowand is there. Manny goes to the bag, but he's not going anywhere. But he did what all the players do, draw a throw. So Kemp a fly ball to center, 2 down. And James Loney coming up. Interesting, 2 left-hand batters, Andre Ethier and James Loney. Ethier has hit 22 home runs at Dodger Stadium this year. Loney, who plays every day right alongside of him, has hit 1. Ethier for the year has hit 31. James has hit 13. And they're going to walk him intentionally, take their chances against the right-hand batter, Casey Blake. So for Bruce Bochy, playing defensively right now, just trying to stop giving up any more runs, although his club is certainly having trouble scoring. Outside of the home runs by Andres Torres, Freddie Sanchez got to second base in the 1st inning, and Randy Wynn got to second base in the 6th. That's it for the Giant attack. So 2 on, and here comes Casey Blake. And of course, Casey and Howery had a lot to do, and Howery is calling Molina out to the mound. Well, we see about Howery and Blake over in the American League, but over here, just 1 for 3. Two out, 7th inning. Dodgers lead 6-2. Giants will have Howery's spot, then Torres and Sanchez. And ball 1. And ball 2. So remember, Howery has walked 2 intentionally in the inning. It usually takes a little bit of the edge off a pitcher's control. Lowry is 36 years old, and he's behind 3-0. How many times have we seen that happen? On deck, Ronnie Belliard. So if Blake walks, he'll have another shot with the bases loaded as he had yesterday. A strike. 3-1. Down in the Dodger bullpen, George Sherrill begins to loosen up. So the plan usually is Quo in the 7th, Sherrill in the 8th, Broxton in the 9th. 3 balls, 1 strike. And a high fly and very playable ball to Aaron Rowan. And that'll be that. The Dodgers get 1 run on a triple and a wild pitch, and at the end of 7 leads 6-2. And Freddie Sanchez. George Sherrill out of Nashville, Tennessee, a closer who is now a man who passes the baton to Jonathan Broxton and has done a magnificent job at that. In fact, as Joe Torre points out, it's a wonderful feeling to be able to bring in Sherrill, who knows what it's all about. In fact, Sherrill's earned run average coming over to the National League is less than half of a run, 0.42. Strikeout to walk ratio not quite 2-to-1. Sherrill, who kind of turns his back on the hitters, will be facing Aurelia, Torres, and Sanchez. Rich Aurelia would qualify as the senior citizen on the Giants squad. 38 years old. First came to the Giants 14 years ago in 1995. That's a strike. Aurelia hitting in the 220s. He has 2 home runs, 15 runs batted in. You're looking at a fellow who 1 year back in 2001 had 37 home runs for the Giants. However, the years take their toll. Last year he showed he had something left. He had 10 home runs, 52 runs batted in, and he hit 283. Doesn't play much. Only had a little over 100 at bats, but he had some big years. 0-2. Ball one. Well, really is the fellow who worked for the Metropolitan Opera House, not singing, as a stagehand from midnight till dawn, tear down the previous night's opera and put up the scenery for the next night. Foul ball. Down in the Dodger bullpen, a little experimental, Clayton Kershaw loosening up. Clayton was out here running in the outfield at 10 o'clock this morning. Dodgers are going to bring him along very, very carefully. See ya. So Sherrill takes care of Aurelia, and the batter will be Andres Torres.
Left fielder, 59, Andres Torres.
Well, no one has really taken care of Andres Torres today. He homered leading off the game, hit back to the box in the third, and hit a brute of a home run in the sixth inning, about 3/4 of the way up into the left field bleachers. When it left the plate, you thought, wow, that thing might even land on the roof out there. It was a monster. Andres Torres. He's been around a long time. He's not a young phenom, right? Torres originally signed by the Tigers. Little ground ball. Belly yard. So quickly, 2 out in the 8th inning. And the batter, Freddie Sanchez.
Now batting, second baseman, number 21.
So the Giants are seriously in danger of falling 4.5 games behind Colorado. They're still in the 9th inning. The Rockies enjoying a 2-run home run by Jason Giambi to lead the D-backs 5-1. So time is running out literally and figuratively on Bruce Bochy and the Giants. All right. Freddie Sanchez singled to right, grounded to third, struck out. Freddie hitting .292. Oh, and 2. Sherrill makes it look so easy. He comes in, makes the 1-inning appearance, makes the minimum number of pitches, and then hands the ball to Broxton. No balls and 2 strikes. Ball 1. Dodgers leave town tomorrow. They go to the nation's capital Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then a 4-game series with Pittsburgh Friday through Monday. And of course, while the Dodgers are in Pittsburgh, the big G20 summit will be underway. Well, the security will be tremendous, I'm sure, and the city will be under tight control. 1-2. And down goes Freddie. And ho-hum for Sherrill. Comes in, strikes out 2 of the 3, and at the end, a 7.5. Dodgers lead 6-2. hit yesterday, had a big hit today as he singled over the bag to drive in two and give the Dodgers the comfortable lead in the fourth inning. Dodgers had 3 singles, a key sacrifice by Casey Blake. So here's Belliard, 2 RBIs today. Belliard with 36 RBIs as a Dodger, 4 home runs and 14 runs batted in. Now back 0-1. Waldis Joaquin on the mound. Joaquin following somewhat of a parade to the mound. Belliard lifts it up. It will be Ryan Garco. Run away. So Garco makes a good play on that high pop fly. 1 down. Russell Martin now facing Waldis Joaquin. Joaquin is from the Dominican Republic. Signed by the Giants 5 years ago. Fastball, slider, changeup. He's 6'2", 190. He's a Christmas baby. And he will be celebrating his 23rd birthday, Christmas Day. He had Tommy John surgery back in '06, 2 years after they signed him. And a line drive, short hop. That shortstop by Uribe. Nice play. So Martin losing a hit, and now Jim Thome will be coming up. Take another look. Nice short hop, backhand, boom, 2 away. So Jim Thome will get a chance to come up and pinch hit. Jonathan Broxton is up in the Dodger bullpen. And here is Thome, who has not done much as a pinch hitter. He was a solid designated hitter, but not coming off the bench. He is 1 for 7. He has struck out 4 of his 7 at-bats. 1 ball and 1 strike. The other night, Thome came up in the 8th inning, and Sergio Romo threw a couple of good fastballs and then broke off as good a curveball as you'd ever want to see to strike him out. Ball 2. Giants load up the right side. Not only 3 men out there, but they have Sandoval on the rim and closer to second base than he is to third. 2-1 to 39-year-old Jim Thome. And a strike, changeup, 2-2. Boy, if you can throw that pitch all the time, and someone who's 22 right now, that was a big pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2. Waldis, W-A-L-D-I-S, his first name. Rafael Furcal, who's walked, tripled, and scored twice on a wild pitch on deck. 3-2 to Jim. It gets tougher as you get older. And the Dodgers go down 1-2-3. And at the end of 8, 6-2, Dodgers enter Jonathan Broxton. Randy Wolf, but after that, it's been all Dodgers. Yeah, the home run by Efield with a man aboard, that made it 2-1 Dodgers. 3 singles meant 2 more to make it 4-1 Dodgers. 2 wild pitches added 2 more runs after Torres hit his second home run in the 6th inning. So now we're in the 9th with Wynn, Sandoval, and Molina. You always like to just think back to various quotes. There was one where Bill Terry was the manager of the Giants back in New York, and a writer asked him about the Dodgers, and Terry said, "The Dodgers, are they still in the league?" Well, that year the New York Giants had a pretty good lead, and the Dodgers ruined things for them, and the Cardinals won. Thinking about another quote that backfired as Broxton works to win. And that was a great quote back in 1951 by Dodger manager Charlie Bresson after an early season series win against the Giants. Dodgers then had a 13.5 game lead in August. And the writers asked Bresson, "What do you think about the Giants and their chances?" And Charlie said, "The Giants, they're dead." Whoa, what a headline that was. So nobody's saying anything about the Giant chances, but they are hurting. They're going to be 9.5 back of the Dodgers. But as far as their cause is concerned, I don't think they realistically felt they had a chance to win the division anyway. But they were certainly looking at a golden opportunity to be the wild card. But now Bruce loses this game. They are 4.5 back of the Rockies. And the Rockies are leading 5-1, bottom of the 9th inning in Arizona. But there are still some games to play. For the Dodgers, a win today gives them 90 victories. Another thing about Joe Torre's club, the magic number to clinch a postseason berth is 6. Well, a Giant loss today and a Dodger victory reduces that number to 4, and the Dodgers getting closer to the playoffs for the 3rd time in 4 years. And the batter now is Sandoval. Pablo turns around to bat left-handed. He walked, singled, hit back to the box, hitting .323. 22 home runs, 80 RBIs. He and Molina provide the power. One and one. Sandoval, known as the Panda up there, but he's only 23. He's just starting his career. It's his 2nd year. He had .345 last year for the Giants. 1 and 1. And that's going to go foul down the line. So the Dodgers figure to win 11 of the 18 from San Francisco, winning 5 of 9 up there and 6 of 9 down here. Meanwhile, Randy Johnson got a peek, got his feet wet yesterday, battling to get his way back at least to relieve in a couple of games. Doubt if there's room to start him. 1 and 2. So Broxton comes in, strikes out Sandoval. For Jonathan Broxton, a record of 7 and 1. He has struck out 108. And he has walked only 27. So with 2 out in the 9th inning, Benji Molina hit into a double play, fly to center, and struck out. It's all over in Arizona, and that is very bad news for the Giants. Ask not for whom the bell tolled, they toll for thee. Rockies 5, D-backs 1. Giants are now 1 out away from being 4.5 back. 0-2 to Benji Molina. Crowd on its feet, a sellout, 53,232. 53,233. The Dodgers drawing over 3 million 24 times, a tribute to the allegiance of their fans. Dodgers averaging over 46,000 a game, and with 53 today, they've drawn 3,000,006. With 3 big ones left with Colorado. 0-2. So that will do it for the ball game as the Dodgers push the Giants 9.5 back. The Rockies remain 5. The holiday bump out there with Pierre, Ethier, and Kemp. Dodgers